Counting on alum Jinger Duggar continues to share interesting stories about her family and her past following the release of her new book. The 31-year-old has also been embracing every moment of her pregnancy with her third child. Jinger has been commended for the privacy she has given to her kids, but she recently admitted that her doors for a reality TV show are still open. However, Jinger revealed in her latest podcast that things may be different if they were ever going to make a TV comeback. Keep reading to see her statements. One of the topics Jinger discussed in her latest podcast with Jeremy was their wardrobe system while filming the show. According to the Counting on Alum, TLC made some changes for the family and had a very Duggar-like wardrobe for them. Jinger added that they never had the choice to pick what they wore. The network assures that the clothes live up to their standards. But it still wasn't an easy time for Jinger and her siblings. She continued, "I was always a little nervous about that because I didn't know what wardrobe they were going to choose. So that's something where I was hesitant going into it." Jinger Duggar also talked about the possibility of them having their own TV show during the same podcast. The Counting on Alum admitted, "I don't know, I don't think so, not right now, not in this season of life." Jinger then said it wouldn't follow every aspect of their lives if they were filming again. She added, "For all those years, you have the sweet memories of traveling and stuff, but it's not all the same," before saying that not having the same film crew and their huge family would hit differently. Jeremy chimed in and agreed that starring in a new reality show will never be as good as the one they did back then. He added, "Otherwise, you're constantly living in the past, and if there's too much nostalgia, it can lead to this depression because you're thinking." The Duggar family's reality show was cancelled multiple times due to Josh Duggar's scandals over the years. However, Josh's CSAM arrest in April 2021 was the nail in the coffin. The network gave the family their own private time to deal with Josh's imprisonment. They announced, "TLC will not be producing additional seasons of Counting on. TLC feels it is important to allow the Duggar family to address their situation privately." Jinger Duggar also admitted that she cried greatly after learning about their show's cancellation. Jinger Duggar, one of the most well-known members of the famous Duggar family from 19 Kids and Counting, and its spin-off Counting On, has long been a subject of fascination for fans and critics alike. As one of 19 siblings, Jinger grew up under the strict rules of her parents, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, whose deeply religious lifestyle shaped the family's television persona. However, Jinger's journey over the years has been marked by a steady breaking away from many of the old patterns associated with her upbringing. With her growing independence, maturity and evolving beliefs, many fans are wondering if Jinger would ever consider returning to television, and if so, whether she would do so in a way that reflects her current life rather than the framework of the Duggar family's past shows. The Duggar family legacy on TV. The Duggars first entered the public eye in the early 2000s, becoming reality TV stars with their show 19 Kids and Counting, which documented their lives as a large conservative Christian family living in Arkansas. The show followed strict rules, including modest dress, courtship practices, and an emphasis on family unity. Jinger, the sixth child in the lineup, was often seen as fun-loving and creative, but like her siblings, she conformed to her parents' expectations. After 19 Kids and Counting was canceled in 2015, largely due to scandals involving Jinger's older brother Josh Duggar, the family returned with a spin-off, Counting On. This show focused on the adult Duggar children, including Jinger, as they began courting, marrying and starting families of their own. For a time, Jinger continued to adhere to the family's traditional lifestyle, but as she grew older, subtle shifts in her approach to life became apparent. Jinger's path to independence. In 2016, Jinger married Jeremy, a former professional soccer player turned pastor, and her life began to take a decidedly different turn. The couple moved to Texas and later to Los Angeles, California, a far cry from the small-town Arkansas lifestyle Jinger had grown up in. Fans of Counting On noticed Jinger embracing a more modern approach to life, including wearing pants, dyeing her hair, and exploring personal passions outside the scope of her family's rules. One of the most significant shifts in Jinger's life has been her willingness to critically examine the belief system she was raised in. In her 2023 memoir, Becoming Free in My Story of Disentangling Faith from Fear, Jinger revealed that she had moved away from the teachings of Bill Guffar, the founder of the Institute in Basic Life Principles (IBLP), a fundamentalist Christian organization that heavily influenced the Duggar family's lifestyle. Jinger's departure from these teachings marked a bold step in her journey toward individuality and independence. Would Jinger return to reality TV? Given her newfound independence, it's worth asking whether Jinger would ever consider returning to reality television. If she did, it seems unlikely that she would follow the same patterns that define 19 Kids and Counting On. Those shows revolved around the Duggar family's collective identity, with an emphasis on their religious values, traditional gender roles, and close-knit family dynamic. For Jinger, a return to television would almost certainly reflect her current life and values, which are markedly different from those of her parents. A potential show featuring Jinger and her husband Jeremy might focus on their life in Los Angeles, their parenting journey with their 2 daughters, Felicity and Evangeline, and their personal projects, such as ministry work and writing. Such a show could also explore Jinger's process of redefining her faith. Rather than adhering to the rigid, fear-based teachings of her upbringing, Jinger has embraced a more grace-centered and open approach to Christianity. This evolution in her beliefs could resonate with a wide audience, particularly those who have experienced similar journeys of questioning and redefining their faith, breaking away from the old patterns. If Jinger were to create a new television show, it would likely break away from the patterns of her family's previous programs in several key ways. Authenticity over perfection. One of the criticisms of 19 Kids and Counting On was that the shows often presented an overly sanitized and idealized version of the Duggar family's life. Jinger has shown a willingness to be more open and honest about her struggles, whether it's her battle with anxiety or her journey to disentangle herself from harmful teachings. A new show could focus on authenticity, highlighting both the joys and challenges of her life. Focus on individuality. Unlike the family-centric format of her previous shows, a Jinger-led show would likely emphasize individuality and personal growth. It could showcase her journey of self-discovery and her efforts to carve out her own path, while balancing her role as a wife and mother. A broader appeal. By stepping away from the strict religious framework of her upbringing, Jinger has opened herself up to a wider audience. A potential show could appeal to viewers from diverse backgrounds who are interested in stories of personal growth, faith, and family. Modern lifestyles. Jinger's current life in Los Angeles offers a stark contrast to the rural Arkansas setting of her childhood. A new show could explore her experiences navigating city life, pursuing new opportunities, and raising her children in a vastly different environment than the one she grew up in. Challenges and opportunities. While a new television show featuring Jinger could be an exciting prospect, it wouldn't come without challenges. One potential hurdle would be addressing her complicated relationship with her family. Although Jinger has maintained a relatively positive relationship with her parents and siblings, her decision to speak out against the IBLP and its teachings has created some tension within the family. A show that highlights her independence might risk further straining those relationships. Another challenge would be navigating the expectations of fans and critics. Jinger's journey has been deeply personal, and putting her life back on display could invite scrutiny and judgment. However, Jinger has already demonstrated remarkable resilience and a willingness to stand by her convictions, which could serve her well in any future media endeavors. What fans want to see. Many fans of Jinger admire her courage and authenticity and would be eager to see her share more of her life on screen. Potential topics for a new show could include her experiences raising children in a way that differs from her own upbringing, the dynamics of her marriage to Jeremy, including how they balance their faith and personal ambitions, her continued journey of faith and self-discovery, insights into her life in Los Angeles, from her favorite activities to her approach to parenting in a modern, urban environment. A new chapter in Jinger's story. As Jinger Duggar continues to evolve and embrace her individuality, the idea of her returning to television becomes an intriguing possibility. However, any new show would almost certainly be a departure from the patterns of her family's past programs. Rather than focusing on rigid rules and collective identity, a new show featuring Jinger would likely highlight authenticity, personal growth, and a modern approach to faith and family. Whether or not Jinger chooses to step back into the spotlight, her story serves as an inspiring example of courage, resilience, and the power of breaking away from old patterns to create a life that reflects one's true self. Fans of the Duggar family, and of Jinger in particular, will undoubtedly continue to follow her journey with great interest, whether it unfolds on television or beyond. Daka son Teddy in Cauteria, my multer steri de la familia Duggar, romanti pe fosa ermerendu vie si abonandu vie la canal pentru, faute actual devies.